Hello Crafty Budgeters, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany. On this channel, we are working to craft a budget and a lifestyle to become debt-free. Y'all, it has been a long time coming for me to do this video, but I am finally doing it. I am so excited. Who knew that you would be excited to talk about your six-figure debt? And as you can see from the thumbnail, how much debt we are talking about. So today we are going to break down how we even got to our six-figure number and then show where we are right now. So a lot happening in this video, but I am so excited to really share our story with you. Being debt-free was something that was put on my heart that I really felt I wanted for my family, and that was a huge reason why I started this journey. And then seeing how much progress other YouTubers were making on their YouTube channel and how much motivation I got from just watching others share their story is the reason why I created the Crafty Budgeter. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and comment. I respond back to all of your comments. And then if you are not a part of the Crafty Budgeter fam, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. We have fun over here. If this is your first video on my channel, I basically go through my budgeting style and how I budget our paycheck. So that was a long intro, but let's get to the fun of this video. And it's funny because some people were, when I was starting this journey, people were like, do you really want to share how much you guys have in debt? And like, that's personal, that's private. And yes, it is very personal and very private, but I also feel like there is power in really sharing our story with others. Not a lot of people talk about debt and how to get out of debt and the small sacrifices and being intentional with your money to get out of the debt that you're in. And I really wanted to use our story to encourage others. So that's why I started this channel, and I'm just so grateful that I'm able to do that with all of y'all. The first thing I'm going to do is show you what our debt was in the beginning of when we really started being focused, laser focused on paying off debt. And that started January 2020. And so I'm going to write down all of the numbers. I cannot multitask and like write and talk and calculate numbers. It just, my brain doesn't work that way. So I'm going to write everything down first, and then I'm going to come back and we'll break down each debt with you so you see how I got to this number. Okay, so I wrote down all of the numbers, as you can see, and I thought it would just be a good idea for me to quickly walk through these debts that we have, and then I'm going to go through our ending balance together and tell you what we paid off for the year of 2020. So the first debt that we have is Capital One. My husband had a Capital One card. I think even before we got married, when we got married, you know, everything comes together, and that was pretty much the remaining debt that he had on it when we started our journey in 2020. Lowe's, a good amount of this Lowe's credit card was from when we moved into our house. We had a couple of things that we needed, and we opened up a Lowe's credit card, and that was the remaining balance on there. Peloton. Listen, at the beginning of the year, literally like January 1st, you know, new year, new me. For those of you that have watched my videos before, you know this story, but for y'all new ones, I thought I was going to be on this exercise kit, and I was watching all of the videos and commercials about Peloton, and I'm like, I'm going to be a spin biker. And we went and saw it, and I'm like, we can do it. We need to treat ourselves. Mind you, I already knew we had a lot of other debt, but in my mind, I'm like, treat yourself. And I'm all about treating yourself, but treat yourself in a reasonable amount and in a reasonable manner. So we got the Peloton, and you will see how much money we spent on a bike. Now the bike is legit. Like, if y'all like spin bikes, that is the bike for you. My husband loves it. I must admit that I've been on it about 3 times, and I'm just not a Peloton, or just not a spin bike. It's not, nothing against Peloton. I'm just not a biker. I would much rather be dancing and doing Zumba. So we pretty much spent $2,500 on a bike that I don't even use. My husband used it and it was great during the pandemic, but let's just keep going. Car number one is my car. We both leased our car, and I'll go through kind of the process of what happens throughout the year. So this was the remaining balance that I had left on my lease before I turned it in. And I turned my lease in March of 2021. Then we had a credit card over the past couple of years. So by myself, with my husband, I think we did like a credit transfer or whatever, and that was the amount that was left on that card, just from random things. I couldn't even tell you what was on it. You know what? One of the things that was on it that I just never paid off was an air conditioner that I bought when I moved into my first apartment in 2012. Can you believe it? 2012, and it's 2020, along with other things that I'm still paying off. Navient is a student loan. You see how much that is. Timeshare, y'all. I thought that, y'all, you know what? I just got scammed. I went in thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna go for the free weekend. And you have to go to those talks, and they were saying all the right things. And I was telling my husband, like, I budget for the family. We can do it. We can pay it off. It'll be good when we have a family. Mind you, we've only been married. We've been married for like a year and a half. Like, we were thinking maybe about having kids, but no time soon we were gonna have kids. And I'm like, we need to do it. And he's like, no, the answer is no, 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 no. I'm going to be doing a whole video on timeshare and how I'm just pissed that we have it. But as you can tell, I won, my husband lost, and that is the amount that we have. $8,674. Let's not even. Then we have a bank loan for $13,659. I honestly, which is sad, I don't even know what this number even adds up to, like what we even were like charged. I couldn't even tell you, which pisses me off too. Ugh. So 13,000, I can't even tell you what it was for or why we needed the loan when we got it. Who knows when, but that's what it was. Car number two is my husband's car. Again, we both leased, and that was the remaining amount on his lease. Fed loan, AES, and Great Lakes were the other remaining loans that we have on account. Can we just look at Great Lakes for a minute? This was my graduate school loan, and yeah. Let's just say that I'm grateful for my graduate program, but not for $67,000, which it was even more because I graduated from grad school in 2015. So for 5 years, I've been out of grad school and I still have this amount, which is crazy. So all of that equals to the $175,389.35 that we started with. You will see what our minimum payments were. I'm not going to go through them. You can kind of read it on your own. But every month, can you just look at this number? $2,000, almost $3,000 we were putting to just debt every month because of just, honestly, some of it was just not, it was just not being smart with money and feeling like I want to have these things, but not just being intentional and focused with how we wanted to spend our money and just buying things like a Peloton for almost $3,000 when we didn't need one. So I quickly want to just go through how we did at the end of the year, which is exciting. We busted our butt. Once I have a goal and a mission, I am literally doing everything to stick to it. I set a goal at the beginning of 2020 that I wanted to pay off $20,000 worth of debt and to be debt-free by 2025. And I'm going to go and write down the ending balance so you can see actually what we were able to pay off at the end of this year. Okay, so listen, like I said, we worked our behinds off last year, and I'm so proud of us because I never thought that we would be able to really hone in and make the sacrifices needed, but we did it, and I'm so proud. We were able to pay off last year 7 debts in 1 year, which is awesome. And so our total amount at the end of the year was $127,826.06, which means we paid off $47,563.29. Let's just 2 snaps for that. 2 snaps. That was 3, but that's fine. No one's counting. I still, every time I say the number, it doesn't even seem real because I'm in awe that we were able to do that. If you want to know how we paid off over $45,000 in 1 year, definitely check out my video. I did a whole video walking through our steps and what we did. Pretty much over time, we refinanced our house, the COVID stimulus, any extra money that we got, it went to debt. And I think being in a global pandemic probably helped because we really weren't doing much. We weren't going out and doing other things, but it was really the motivation we needed to get started. So that's where we ended up for the first year of us really being on this debt-free journey. Now let's quickly look to see where we started with in the beginning of January. And don't leave me yet because I got some news to share with you. So make sure you keep watching because I'm about to share some stuff. All right. Okay, so this is what we started with at the beginning of this year. Let me just start off by saying that your girl added some debts, which, you win some and you lose some. And at the beginning of the year, we were some of the things were because of me, some of the things weren't because of me and my husband. Well, I'm not even putting my husband out there. It was pretty much me. But remember just a couple seconds ago, it said that the bank credit card was 0. Well, your girl used it because I needed a new laptop. I got my MacBook Pro in 2010 and it was a ride or die. It helped a girl out through the rest of college, through graduate school, my first couple of jobs, but it didn't have no more space on it. And I just needed more space. Then I was using my husband's computer and I was taking up all of his space and I had to delete stuff. And every time I wanted to do a video, it was just way too much. So I spent a little bit of money and got myself a new MacBook with tons of storage, tons of memory. I don't have to delete things every literally 5 seconds just so I can download or do things. And so yes, was it the smartest idea? Probably not, because I really wanted to not have a credit card again, but in the moment I felt like I needed it and I just did it. So yep, that was the number 1 thing that we added. Then we go to this, which brings so much frustration and slightly anger to myself. Y'all, at the beginning of the year, I'm like, I'm gonna use my tax return to pay off some debt. Psych. We did our taxes and they were like, y'all know you gotta pay. And I was like, I've never had to pay in my life. And this was the year. I just couldn't be great in the beginning of the year. I couldn't be great in the beginning of the year, but that's all right because we're making it happen now. So yeah, they were like, you need to owe, and we understand what it was. We basically weren't taking enough money out of our pay every month. We had some pay increases, salary increases, and we didn't change things. And the year before I was on maternity leave and then I wasn't. And so anyway, all of this is to say is make sure that your W-2 or whatever forms and that you have to fill out with your employer is right and up to date, because if not, you will have to pay money back. I'm pissed. I am pissed. And can I tell y'all, all of y'all that were doing your tax returns, cash stuffing, I was rooting for you and I was so excited. But deep inside, I had this jealousy that I'm like, I wanted to be able to be putting my tax return to other places. But you know what? There were other things that needed to happen, and that is okay. The second thing that we added is that you will see I have another car. Well, look at that. So because my lease was going to be up, I knew I had to get a new car eventually. It was going to be up March of 2021. And so I was thinking about what I was going to do. I didn't want to buy a new car. I didn't want to lease again. And I was thinking about not renting. I was thinking about buying like a used car. But unfortunately, my aunt passed away, and pretty much I took over her car and paid the remaining balance on it. And so the remaining balance on the car was this amount. And so while I am very, very grateful that I was able to receive a blessing from my aunt while I wish she was here, I'm thankful that there was a provision in the works, even though I didn't know it was coming. And I knew I was going to have to put some money aside for a car anyway, probably close to like $10,000, which I didn't even have. And so having the vehicle that I have now, it's a nice vehicle, runs well, and I didn't have to pay as much as I would have if I bought a new car. So that is one of those things that was going to probably have to happen, but it happened a lot sooner due to an unfortunate event. So yeah, those three things added $12,000 to our total debt, which, it is what it is. Things happen, and we just had to refocus. So a lot of the things that I was planning for saving and being 1 month ahead and paying off this amount of debt just had to be reevaluated and changed. And that's life, and that is budgeting, and that is planning, and things happen, and you just have to have a plan of how you're going to make things work when it does happen. So our total at the beginning of this year was $140,440.84. And then at the end of this year, I will come back and put what the ending balance will be. The goal is still to pay off $30,000 worth of debt. And while I didn't get the tax return that I thought that could go to it, and some other things just didn't play out the way I thought it was going to play out, I have faith that it will all work out, and I am motivated and on a mission to make it happen. So the last thing I want to do is just quickly show you where we are right now in the month of April. April is going to be over in 2 days, which is crazy. So I want to show you where we are with our debt at the beginning of April. So as you will notice, I made sure my top priority was to get that credit card out of the way. And so in February, I paid off the credit card. The amount that we have to pay to the IRS stayed the same. I didn't put any money to this debt in February because I wanted to be able to start to accumulate some. And let me just tell you, we are a debt snowball family as well. So the money that we paid off for our other debts, we roll it into kind of that bucket of money. And so every month I have about $1,000 that I put towards our debt snowball. Anything extra is a bonus. And right now our Fed loan and our Great Lakes, because of the CARES Act, that gets rolled into our debt snowball as well until those payments start back up again. I really didn't want to have to go on a payment plan. I didn't want to have to pay on this IRS bill for multiple months or years. And so I really wanted to focus my attention on getting this out of the way. And I have until next month to do that. Then our car, I did pay off about $1,000 and some change in February. Then our timeshare, everything else pretty much stays the same. It went down a little bit. So the total amount that we started with in April was $135,376.98. So when you do the numbers, since the beginning of this year, we have paid off $5,063.86, which isn't bad. There were a lot of things that happened that we weren't expecting and really changed the plan that I had set for us for paying off our debt. So I'm grateful for any amount of money that we can put to debt and to help us get closer to our goals. And so you do not want to miss my end of the month closeout, where I will be sharing our ending balance. So what we did for the month of April. I am just excited to share kind of how our month went with all of you. And this is just another step to help us get to our goal. When I do the math, it looks like we might be able to pay off our debt before 2025. And starting this YouTube channel has really been the push to make sure that I do everything in my power to help us get to that goal while still doing things that we enjoy and having fun and having a lifestyle that is fruitful and is around love and friendship and so many other things that are important in our lives. So that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of our debt, where we started with, where we are now. If this is something that you really enjoy and want to see our progress, definitely don't forget to subscribe to the Crafty Budgeter fam. Make sure you like and comment. If you are on your debt-free journey, how is it going? How much debt are you trying to pay off? Let's do this together. As much as we can support each other and help each other along the way, the faster that we will reach our goals together. And I am a true believer in having faith around that. So have a great rest of your day. See ya. Bye-bye.